Oh my god, I've just filmed like a whole intro without even realising the record button wasn't on. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are, whatever time in the day it is where you are. Today's video, I'm just going to do like a bit of a chatty video, because I put on Instagram what do people want to see, because I'm trying to be a consistent queen with my YouTube again, and a lot of people really like chatty videos in between fitness content. So to break it up a bit between solely fitness content, I'm just going to film a little chatty video. We're going to go to Starbucks. However, I think when I set off, I might have to just pick this back up when I get to Starbucks, because I'm in the market for a new camera. I was fully ready to like sell the one I've got at the moment, order the Sony one, like the Sony ZV-1 something, I think that's what it's called. But I spoke to David about it, who is my friend, who's a photographer, and he was like, wait until the Canon R series comes out, because apparently Canons are better than Sonys. And I don't, like, the Sony camera is going to cost me about £800 in total with all the accessories I need with it, so I don't want to be spending that kind of money if I'm then in 2 months time going to be like, oh, I want this other one. So I'm going to wait, which means like things like car tripods, which I really want to buy for like vlogs and stuff, I don't want to buy anything until I've got my new camera, because I don't know what kind of like attachments and stuff it's going to be. So yeah, we're going to drive to Starbucks. I'm going to turn my car on. Is it going to make the noise? Oh, it didn't make the noise. That's a bit disappointing. Normally makes a noise when I turn it on. But yeah, we will drive to Starbucks and have a little chin wag. I think I'm gonna have to put you down because I feel like it's just not gonna work. There we go. I think that's worked. I've just had to try and mess around with my brightness. I feel like because it's so dark up top, I look bald, like I literally look like I just have 2 strands of hair, but we're gonna roll with it. My hair's really greasy anyway, so you probably don't want to see that. I felt so sorry for the guy working on Starbucks because he looked stressed. I feel like he was new and the person in front of me's order looked completely wrong. Like, he passed him all the stuff through and then he was passing him it all back, and I just thought, oh, I felt really sorry for him. Starbucks chats. I feel like last time I did this was like around Christmassy kind of time. And I also had really greasy hair and had to do my hair in the exact same way. I've kind of changed my hair up a little bit. I got some like lighter bits back through the front, and now I'm not sure how I feel about it again. So I'm putting a picture of what it looks like down. I'm like so back and forth with everything about how I look at the moment. So that's just absolutely bloody wonderful. So, life updates. Ever since I've got back from Thailand, I've been having like a 5th life crisis, because I'm like, do I want to go and do some travelling, or should I be wise and get my foot on the property ladder? I don't know, you're only young once, but then also the job I have, it's quite unstable. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to travel? Is it wise to do that? Should I be getting my foot on the property ladder? I don't know. Like, I'm literally 22. I'm going to be 23 a week tomorrow, 9th of June. That's my birthday, Gemini baby. I don't know what the right thing to do is. There's no right answer, I suppose. Like, it literally depends person to person, but I just feel like those two like things are like conflicting, and then it's really compounded by what I do for work, because it is quite unstable. I mean, if you are employed, you could technically get made redundant at any point, so I guess there is a level of instability in everything. But like, self-employed is like, you're solely responsible for making that bread. So I don't know if it would be stupid of me to not get something like bricks and mortar right now. I don't know, but then I don't know where I want to live. I'm 22. I definitely don't want to be buying a home to live in this year. Like, I don't think that's what I want to do anyway. Obviously, I have moved out of my family home now. I think I've mentioned that. I live with Dan, so I've moved to Leeds, and Dan's like, obviously we speak about like getting a house together and all that sort of stuff, but that's another cog in the works, because for Dan's work, he's an osteopath. If you don't know what an osteopath is, it's not the same thing as a chiropractor, but they do like very similar things, like cracking backs and all that sort of stuff. For his work, it would be super beneficial for him to maybe move to Dubai for like 6 months to a year, and he wants to do that so he can earn some more. Like, the earning potential out there for him is huge, and so he'd have like money to put towards a deposit for a house together. So that's another thing that we're considering at the moment. But then I'm like such a home baby, like I know I'd really miss my mum and dad. Also, like, I feel like if you're gonna move to a whole new country, I know it's like a huge like expat thing out in Dubai, but like I feel like I work for myself, like what I do is super remote. So am I going to be going there and ending up just like sitting in on my laptop doing work all day and like not having the opportunity to make any friends? Because like I don't come across people day to day in what I do. Like it's not part of my work to be interacting in person with other people. So I don't know, but that is something that is being considered, maybe spoken about. I feel like I'm having a fifth life crisis because, yeah, traveling, property, I don't know what to do. There's definitely worse problems to be having in life, but that is my current situation. I'm just having like a kind of a bit of a life crisis. There were some things that like people wanted me to, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, obviously I feel like that's been like the hottest topic for the past couple of weeks, well the past 6 weeks. It was going on whilst I was in Thailand and that feels like ages ago now. So today it's Wednesday. I feel like I've got a feeling the verdict's going to come in today, but I'm not 100% sure. It might not, they might take a bit longer. I've actually been following along with the trial, and what I want to say first of all is I've actually been following it along properly, not just via TikTok clips, because regardless of which side you're on, I'm telling you now, some of those clips that are on TikTok have been edited and taken very much out of context to make things look a certain way. The TMZ guy who gave his testimony about whatever to do with TMZ, people were saying that he was raising his eyebrows at Amber Heard when he was explaining, you know, how sources and all that sort of stuff, as if to say you were the source. If you actually watch the trial, it was raising his eyebrows because they just said objection hearsay. So as he was speaking, he was looking over to Amber's side to be like, are you going to object to what I'm saying? Like, is it going to be a hearsay thing? He was just... So yeah, like there's little stuff like that where I think you've really taken that out of context and made it something it's not. And the comments are like flooded with people agreeing, and I'm just like, is anyone even watching this? But yeah, I do think some people have watched it just for entertainment to laugh at. Personally, I think, you know, it's a very serious topic. Obviously it's about defamation. The case is a defamation case. I think people are getting confused as to what this case is. It's a defamation case. I personally don't think it's a hands down win for either side. Like, defamation is something that is notoriously difficult to prove. If there's even like one thing, that's it. Like, Johnny's not gonna win, Amber's not gonna win. I'm not convinced either of them are gonna win this one. I don't really know. I think, yeah, I don't know. I don't want to say I don't know the law like ins and outs, but I do know from what I've read, what I've seen, that defamation is like notoriously hard to prove. But people seem to think that this is more like about who abused who, or about domestic abuse in general. And obviously like the underpinnings of this are about domestic abuse. Like, you can't say this trial's not about that, because it is. However, like in terms of getting found guilty or not guilty, it's actually not to do with that. It's to do with defamation and were the statements defamatory or not. I've come to my own conclusions because I have watched the trial. I've followed along with it. I've made my own conclusions. But the one thing that I think has been really sad is, do you know what, right? I don't subscribe to the whole like Amber Heard's Satan and Johnny Depp's an angel. I personally, this is my personal take, like, it's just my personal take. Obviously it's a relationship between two people. We'll never truly know exactly what went on. My personal take is, I do think that Amber Heard was abusive towards Johnny Depp. However, do I think Johnny Depp was like an absolute angel? No. I think he's probably quite a flawed human being. Obviously he's got addiction issues and all that sort of stuff, and those things can be like very hard to deal with, both for the person themselves and also the person that they're with. Not excusing domestic abuse. Like, for me, the actions that it seems to be from her side are like completely unacceptable, regardless of what Johnny's like to be with as a partner. Obviously a lot of people are saying like, oh, it's just a toxic relationship, they're just as bad as each other. I personally think those statements are quite dangerous to make. Like, the myth of like reactive abuse and all that sort of stuff, like just saying, oh, they're both as bad as each other, it's toxic. I feel like that's quite a dangerous statement to make when you're talking about something as serious as domestic abuse. But with the whole like Johnny Depp thing, obviously a lot of people have been team Johnny Depp, and I do understand why. But you know, if you've actually watched the trial, there's so many things that are like pro Johnny Depp, and so many like points that you can make that are totally valid points that work in Johnny Depp's favour. But people have resorted to myths and like very dangerous statements to make about, you know, domestic abuse, sexual assault, all that sort of stuff, which to me, you've then lost the argument. And it's really frustrating because there are some really good arguments for in Johnny Depp's favour, in my personal opinion, from what I've watched. But when you start saying certain statements, I just think no. And also, I'm sorry, like, I hate to say it, but like, if this was the other way around, people would be getting slammed for saying the sort of stuff that they are saying. Oh, well, if he was so bad, Amber Heard would have left. Like, why would you stay with someone that's like apparently assaulted you, you know, whether it's sexual, domestic, 'cause obviously she's made claims of both. Why would you stay with someone? That's like a classic like myth. Like, we all know it's very hard. It's raining. It's very hard for people to get out of these situations once they're in them. It's a stupid comment to make, and I hate seeing people say shit like that. What have I also seen that's been really annoying? You can't use, like, obviously I know, like, I'm not stupid, like maths and all that sort of stuff, and you're looking for patterns, but you know, there's videos of Johnny Depp being like really courteous and really kind to all the court staff, and people in the comments are like, see, he's such a good person, he could never have done what Amber's accusing him of. And like, that's an alarming thing to say. Like, I know people who have been in like abusive relationships, I know people who have committed acts of abuse, and you'd never look at them and think what a terrible person. They're normally quite nice, they're normally quite charming. Now, this isn't me saying I think Johnny Depp's an abuser, but like, make sure you're using valid arguments, because some of the shit people have been saying, I just think, really. And then obviously quite a lot of his exes have come out and said like, he never abused me. Again, just because he hasn't abused certain partners, that doesn't mean he hasn't abused this one. When I'm saying this, please don't think that I am like pro Amber Heard, because personally I'm actually not. But I'm just saying there's so many valid arguments in Johnny Depp's favour. Why are people resorting to these myths? It's really fucking raining. This is going to get ruined if it continues to rain, because I feel like it's going to be very noisy. But yeah, that's my take on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I feel like it's been all over the news the past few weeks. And that's just my two cents. And unfortunately, I do think that people who have a certain agenda are going to use this case as a reason to belittle any like victims that come forward in the future, not of Johnny Depp, but like in general, like anyone who gets accused in like the public spotlight. You know, I think people are going to definitely use this, not everyone, but some people who sit on a certain side of things, hold certain opinions, are definitely going to use this case to bolster their arguments, which is going to be really fucking frustrating. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. I've decided we're going to have to change locations. I'm driving now to my parking spot because the rain isn't going to stop until 6 PM. So, and we're back in business. I actually feel like, weirdly, this lighting's actually a lot better. Let me see if it looks better without that on. Oh no, I think it looks better with it on. Yeah, I was looking at the rain forecast and I was like, it's not going to stop raining until 6. It's 3 PM. I can't sit for 3 hours and wait. So I'm coming in my parking space because it's underground, so no rain bouncing off the windows. Let me take my belt off, go to Starbucks again and get comfortable. Yeah, so the other thing that I keep seeing everywhere at the moment is, obviously, Love Island starts on Monday. My personal take, because I did get a few people on Instagram asking me if I'm going to watch it. I might watch it, I might give it a go, but I think Love Island is on its way out now. Like, it's not as good as it used to be. They get the same kind of people every single year. It's a bit boring. I just feel like any kind of reality show, you can't do it forever. It's one of those things where you'd be best leaving it on a high, but they never do. They always overdo it, and the last seasons are always shit. I feel like at the moment, if you want to go on a reality TV show and make bank, you need to be going on like Too Hot to Handle. Like, I couldn't name one person off last year's Love Island. But yeah, so the like shots of each contestant have come out, obviously the professional shots that Love Island do. There's an uproar like every single year when these pictures come out, because people are like, oh my god, like, didn't like their Instagram. And with this time, I feel like people are picking up on it more, and how much of a weird comment it is to make. First of all, it's quite rude to the photographer. Like, ITV have got money, do you know what I mean? Like, they've probably paid that photographer quite a bit of money. They're probably really good at what they do. But there's a difference between someone being comfortable in front of an iPhone for their Instagram to take pictures, and comfortable in front of a, like, professional camera. Me, I'm not comfortable in front of a professional camera. I'm barely comfortable in front of an iPhone. But, like, pictures wise, it's a big difference. And if you're not a natural to that sort of stuff, the pictures can come out, you know, you might not be so happy with them. For example, speaking from experience, I've done photo shoots where it's not the photographer's fault. Rigid, a little bit awkward, and I've not been happy with the photos, and that's happened before. And it's nothing to do with the photographer who's taken pictures, you know, it's happened before. It's, you know, but people are picking up on how, like, backhanded some of the things that people are saying are. People like, oh, like, they always do people dirty, like, this photographer always does people dirty, they don't look like that. I mean, I just think, and then they're pulling up pictures from their Instagrams. Now, the pictures that are getting pulled up from people's Instagrams have been edited. Like, they're edited. Obviously, Love Island will edit colours and stuff. I don't doubt that those pictures do not come straight from the camera roll. They'll edit colours, they'll, you know, mess around with that exposure and all that sort of stuff. But in terms of editing faces and editing bodies and all that sort of stuff, and making sure you get the most perfect angle, they're not going to be doing that. Of course they're not going to be doing that. They're not going to let you take like 1,000 pictures so you can pick one that you like, which is what most people do for Instagram, including myself. I'm not calling people out. So to compare Instagram to, like, what is probably a more, like, candid picture of someone is just a bit stupid. And also it's a bit rude, because those people do look like that in that picture, and you're basically saying they don't look good. The season's not even started yet and people are already getting roasted. And I understand that people are bringing up their Instagram to be like, oh, you've not done them justice, but, like, it is a bit of a backhanded compliment, because you're essentially saying that they look bad in the picture. Instagram's not real. Instagram's not real. And don't get me wrong, we all have pictures of ourselves which maybe we think don't look like us, or we don't find them that flattering, or we wouldn't personally post them. I've got pictures like that. Everyone's probably got pictures like that. However, these people have got no choice whether they like these pictures or not. First of all, they've not said whether they like the pictures or not, so let's not make assumptions on their behalf. They might really like the pictures and everyone else is roasting them. Bit rude. They might think it really captures what they look like perfectly. You know what I mean? And I feel like on previous seasons, not with everyone, but on previous seasons that I've watched, the Love Island pictures are a more realistic representation of what people look like moving around and all that sort of stuff. Like, my YouTube videos are a way more accurate representation of what I look like, as opposed to one picture out of 300 pictures which I picked, curated, put through Lightroom to make the colours look a bit better. But my YouTube videos are a more accurate representation of what I look like than my Instagram. I'm not stupid, I know that. I'm moving around. You can see, look, you can see I'm moving around. Not 4D, but you know what I mean. Well, I did ask for, like, some topics on Instagram, and someone said to talk about, like, materialism and, like, social media and all that sort of stuff. And I've been thinking about this a little bit more recently, because do you know what I have actually come to realise? I know quite a few people who have got, you know, a little bit more money than most. They've got quite a few nice things and all that sort of stuff, but they don't view themselves as any better than someone who maybe has something a little bit less expensive, or has less things, or earns less money. They don't view themselves as more important. Don't get me wrong, there definitely are some people that do, like, they think their shit doesn't stink, but, like, I know a lot of people that are in, like, very fortunate positions, and they're not looking down on people. I 100% see more people. Oh, is that man gonna come in here? No, I don't think he is. I 100% see more people talking about people and calling them, like, materialistic, saying that they look down on people because, you know, they think they're better than everyone else and all that sort of stuff. I see more people making those claims than I do seeing people who have nicer, more expensive things actually looking down on people. We need to do a little bit of unpacking, because is someone showing off what they've got, or are they just showing something nice that they have but it's perceived as showing off because it's a bit more expensive. I think there's a little bit to unpack there. For me personally, I've definitely realised that I have placed way too much of an importance more recently on like things like that, and it wasn't making me happy, it wasn't bringing me any more joy, it was a bit stupid, it was a bit of an oversight on my part, and I'm trying to like peel back on all that sort of stuff now. Like I really just want to like, oh those lights were bright, I really just want to like clear my wardrobe out, have like a fresh start, have like way less stuff around me. I definitely want to do that. I don't think like there's nothing wrong with having nice things. I am a material girl at heart, and I will remain being a material girl at heart. I like having nice things. I don't think that's ever going to stop, but I'm not going to be like placing them on a pedestal or like thinking it's going to make me happy, because I knew it wouldn't. Like I knew it wouldn't. I've seen all like the podcasts, the speeches, the TikTok clips. I've seen it all. Like I've read it all. I know it doesn't, but for some reason you still think it will, and it doesn't. So if you needed that idea to be reinforced again, it doesn't. And I know sometimes it can come across a bit like, really, like it's very rich to say that with having nice things when people say things like that, but like it is true. Like categorically it is true. And I feel like they've done studies on this. I feel like they've done studies on like the amount of stuff you have and the amount of money you earn, and like I feel like there's a peak amount where anything more after that, it doesn't make a difference to like your happiness and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that's my thoughts on material girls. True material girls, true bad bitches are nice people who can appreciate a nice thing, but they don't think it puts them above anyone else, and they don't look down on people because they don't have said thing or they don't look a certain way. That's a true bad bitch material girl, not someone who's like, ew, I've got a Prada bag in yours from Zara. Like I honestly can't say I ever look at anything that anyone else has and think, ew, what I've got is better. It's a strange concept to me, but there definitely are people out there like that. Brings me on to another point, because I feel like materialism kind of comes, that question was asked about like social media. Does anyone else just think Instagram is just dead? Let me know if you agree, but I just feel like it's on its way out. They keep making really stupid updates which make no sense. For example, they've done something to their feed. All I get now is reels from like 3 weeks ago, which I've already seen and either didn't like because I didn't like it, or I've liked it. Why are you showing me things on my feed that I've already liked Instagram from 3 weeks ago? The math isn't mathing, like it's just not making sense. It's not making bloody sense. It's really, really, really annoying. I wish they'd just like chill on that front and just go back to normal. And then apparently they're doing like this story update where like if someone posts loads of stories, I'm fucked because I post a lot of stories. They're gonna like, you're gonna have to click view all. They'll only show you like 2 or 3 stories and you have to click view all to actually go through every single story, which I suppose is like a good thing if you don't want to see everyone's stories, but like for anyone who like gets paid for doing story posts, they're a bit screwed now because their story insights are gonna like plummet, and therefore what brands are going to offer them for story posts is also going to plummet. And I know that some people get like very weirdly happy about like the potential downfall of like influencers and Instagram and all that sort of stuff, but like the way I see it is this money used to be going to big corporations to be spent on like billboards, magazines, all that sort of stuff for their marketing, for their adverts, and now it's going to like people, individuals instead. I personally would rather it be that way rather than going to like massive companies and corporations. I don't have an issue with influencing. I do have an issue when people make out like it's as hard as being a nurse or a doctor, because like it's not. Every job has its pros and cons, and there are definitely cons to being an influencer, but at the end of the day, yes, is it obscene that what people earn in comparison to other jobs, which are obviously a lot more taxing and a lot more important in society? Yes, it is. It's wild. But I personally don't have an issue with influencing. Obviously it's part of what I do, but like I've never really had an issue with it. I think I don't really have an issue with it. So yeah, I think it's a bit weird how happy people get about people potentially missing out on money. Like some influencers have like full-blown like mortgages, bills and children to look after, and you're really over here clapping because they're earning less money because their story insights have gone down because of a stupid Instagram update. It just seems a bit weird to me. I'd never ever ever clap at someone missing out on money. It's a bit weird. It just seems a little bit odd to me. Each to their own. I just think it's a bit odd. But yeah, Instagram's updates, man, I just feel like Instagram is dead. Like, I use it for stories. I love being on stories on Instagram, but in terms of like actual posts, which is a whole other thing, I don't really, unless I'm like somewhere where I'm like, oh, I've got really good ideas for pictures, I don't really like being on Instagram anymore. I think it's become quite like, I suppose it depends who you follow, but for me it's just become a bit like mundane. I spend a lot more time on YouTube and TikTok now, and I've started using Twitter again. Twitter is by far one of the most savage apps, but I've been dabbling in Twitter mainly because I've been keeping up with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard stuff on Twitter, to be fair. But yeah, I feel like Instagram is kind of popping its clogs. It's on its way out. Their biggest mistake, in my opinion, was trying to become TikTok with Reels, because people, in my opinion, TikTok is for TikTok, and now they're trying to make Instagram into TikTok. Like, there was a reason why Instagram was so successful, and it was because people wanted to share still pictures, and now everyone's having to like completely rejig and reformat content to suit the new algorithm, which pushes Reels more. And like, I like making TikToks, but I don't necessarily really like making Reels. I know it's the same thing, but like, I just prefer making TikToks. I think TikToks get pushed out a lot more than Reels do. I know Instagram are pushing Reels more, but from what I've seen, I feel like TikTok definitely, you reach more of an audience on there. I just think social media is a little bit, at the moment, I'm not really sure. I'm not feeling too inspired by it, to be honest. Yeah, but as for like the picture thing, like I said, like, follow me on Instagram, and I mentioned this in my last life update, which just goes to show like nothing's really changed. You'll notice like I'm active as hell on my stories, but like pictures and stuff. When I was in Thailand, I was loving some pictures. I find, like, obviously you're in a beautiful place, like there's beautiful scenery. I find it a lot more, like, it sounds stupid, but like my brain works a lot more creatively when I'm somewhere nicer, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not walking around where I live thinking, oh, but maybe that's just me not being that creative. It probably is that, to be honest. So you'll notice that I posted a bit more when I was in Thailand in terms of like pictures wise, but other than that, like, I'm not really posting. And like, I just feel like workout stuff, it's all kind of been done before. I really want to start doing like some really like high quality stuff, which is why I want a new camera. Annalise Cruz, like her TikToks and stuff look fucking amazing. Like, her content I'm obsessed with. I think her content's amazing, and I think Gymshark have got a little gold mine in sponsoring her. Like, her content is sick, and I really want to start doing more like kind of stuff like that rather than doing like swipe workouts and stuff. Like, I feel like the fitness space on social media, TikTok not so much, but like TikTok's a fucking nightmare in terms of fitness content. I feel like we've gone back in time to like 2006 on TikTok fitness stuff. Maybe I'll start making fitness content on TikTok more, like a lot more fitness content. Did with YouTube, like I started making content because I wanted to like be like more like no BS. Maybe I'll do that on TikTok. Should I start making more TikToks? I don't know. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't really know what to post, and I just feel like I am having almost like a bit of a like, the only way I can describe it is kind of like a confidence and identity crisis recently. And do you know what? This has been going on for like over 6 months now, and it kind of like comes in like waves, like it ebbs and flows and all that sort of stuff. Some weeks, you know, I could have like a really good month where I feel really, really, really good, and then sometimes I feel really, really, really shit. But like the shit parts are like especially shit. For example, my nose. So I got my nose done. By the way, nose update, this is how my little schnoop is looking. It's healing really, really, really well. This is my nose. That's my nose. And that's my nose. Yeah, for example, my nose. I have had people, whether it's like, you know, people on Instagram, and to be honest, I've had it quite a lot on Instagram, people being like, oh, why didn't you get a ski slope nose? I'm really surprised you didn't get your nose more scooped out. I'm really surprised you didn't get a ski slope nose. Why didn't you get a ski slope nose? And my nose was like my biggest insecurity before I got it done. And why am I getting emotional? And when I got it done, I was so happy and it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. And I love my new nose. I really like it, but I feel like because I'm a bit like low on confidence, like self-esteem at the moment, I don't think people are saying it in a nasty way. Like, I want to be really clear, I don't think people are just like being mean, but because I'm like a bit low on confidence, I'm kind of interpreting that as like, you should have done that, like your nose doesn't look good. Like, my nose was never big in the first place, but like when people make comments about like, oh, I'm surprised you didn't get it smaller, it kind of feels like a bit of a like backhanded comment to make, because I'm like, is my nose like, it's so stupid. There's nothing wrong with having like a big nose. I don't want to sit here and say things that are like really harmful, but like I'm just speaking like as candidly as possible. It makes me feel like, do people think my nose looks bad? And that shouldn't matter because I got it done for me, but it's just kind of like taking away the joy from it, if that makes sense. Oh god. And I feel like such an idiot even talking about stuff like confidence, because I've had people say to me when I've spoken about it on Instagram before, like, maybe you shouldn't like say that, like people look up to you, but like I am like really crying which is embarrassing. I need to compose myself. Yeah, I'm like really struggling with my confidence. I am like really struggling with my confidence at the moment, and I have been for a while, and like maybe I'm like taking things the wrong way because I am like that way out, but yeah, it's quite. And then obviously like people saying, oh, you shouldn't talk about like people look up to you, but I'd never want anyone to look at me and think that, oh, life's perfect, like everything must be like hunky-dory at all times, and it's just not like that. Like, that's not life. I never used to struggle with it, but this is what I mean when I say like confidence crisis / identity crisis. I just feel like obviously social media is part of what I do, and I'm really grateful that I have my coaching, and that is my main income source most months, because if I didn't have that, I think I would go stir crazy, because I don't think I'm necessarily built to just do social media. But like obviously being on social media is part of what I do, you know, posting pictures, posting videos, all that sort of stuff is part of what I do. Being active on there, it's part of what I do. Interacting with people, which is my favourite thing. Like, that's the best thing about social media for me, is interacting with people. Like, I love doing that. I love doing that. And I'm really grateful for that. Oh, there's so many bigger problems in the world right now, and I feel like a bit silly for crying, but I just want to be completely honest, because I feel like I've not been completely honest for a while. Oh god, just need to stop crying. You know, it's part of what I do, and like the trends at the moment, and like the aesthetic that's in at the moment, I just don't fit it. And like I've tried doing like super, you know, glam, like super like full glam heavy makeup, and like it looks amazing on some people, but like I look stupid in it. It doesn't suit me, it doesn't suit my face. When I've, you know, other people have said it to me, it's what I personally believe as well. It's not like someone said it to me and then I've got an insecurity about it. I like when I put like loads of makeup on, I don't think it looks nice. I definitely prefer, you know, a little bit less. And I'm not saying this to be like I'm not like the other girls, because people who do that, they look stunning, they look amazing, but I just feel like the super like glam look is in at the moment, and I just don't suit it. And I feel like I've made the mistake of trying to fit into that rather than owning what I like and what I want to look like, and you know, what I'm comfortable in, because I am a big believer that you look best when you're confident, and you can tell when someone's not confident. Like, I am such a big believer in that, and I feel like that is what makes you like glow. It gives you like a glow about you. When you're sure of yourself, you feel confident, you feel good. So like when people ask me about like outfits and stuff, I always say wear what you're comfortable in, because regardless of whether it's like the most breathtaking outfit in the room, if you feel good in it, you're gonna be more like comfortable speaking to people, you're gonna be happier, you're just gonna radiate like a better energy. I feel like I've made the mistake of kind of trying to go down like what's in right now, go down that path, and like I don't fit that aesthetic. I'm never gonna look like that. It doesn't suit me, and I feel like that's my own fault for going down that rabbit hole. But when you do social media as a job, it is hard. And Rachel Leary did like a video where she spoke about this, and she said like, and to be fair, I do like cargos, but she said that she feels a bit like with Instagram at the moment, because obviously she does more fashion stuff, so she's a bit more affected by it. But she was like, everyone's wearing like tiny crop tops or like corsets and cargos, and she's like, it's just not my style. But that's the stuff that gets the most engagement, and there's definitely like a particular look that gets the most engagement at the moment, and like I just don't look like that. I don't fit it, and stuff like this never used to bother me, which is why I feel like I'm having an identity crisis. Like I feel like I don't really know who 22, 23-year-old me is. Which is exciting actually, because it means I get to work it out, and I feel like I am kind of getting a bit better with it. But girly whirlies, I've definitely bloody struggled with it. Like I have really struggled with it. Like, I can't be something that I'm not. I can't force myself into this box of looking a certain way when it doesn't suit me, and I'm not comfortable with that. I feel like I keep changing my hair because I don't know whether I want to be like lighter or darker, and I feel like I do like my hair darker, but I also like it lighter. But then when it's too dark, and I feel like I went too dark with my hair because I was trying to fit into like the current vibe, it washed me out, and like I didn't really like it. But I felt like I needed to keep that hair because it's what's in. This whole thing is like ridiculous. I spoke about this on Instagram, like the whole like Instagram baddie aesthetic. Like it's really got girls feeling like if they don't look like that, if they don't dress like that, they're not attractive, or they're not sexy, they're not, you know. But it's not for everyone, and if we all look the same, it would be so fucking boring. It'd be so boring if we all look the same. So I wish we could all like just embrace. I feel like let's make the next 6 months, the last half of this year, be about finding our own personal style, our own personal look that we like, that we're most comfortable in, and not just trying to follow trends, box ourselves in, forcing ourselves to do things that we don't want to do, that we don't like, that we don't think suit us, but we're doing it because it's trendy at the moment. Because trust me, like if you're, you know, adopting a certain look that you're not comfortable in, but because it's trendy, people can tell like you're not going to be radiating like confidence, positive vibes. You're just not. Sorry if I keep looking around, it's because I'm paranoid that someone's watching me cry, which isn't, well, I mean there are people watching me cry, but yeah, I just feel like I get a lot of comparisons, both like on social media and, you know, in person, body wise as well. Like when I first got into the gym, I was super small, and there's nothing wrong with being super small. My sister, absolute skinny legend, and she looks fucking amazing. Like she's literally built like Kendall Jenner. She's like a Giselle, like she looks amazing. But I just wasn't comfortable in how I looked, and yes, that was impacted by comments that had been made, but I just wasn't comfortable with that. I feel like I've had long-standing issues with confidence, self-esteem, but like I used to get called like anorexic and stuff, and I did have like quite nasty things said about my appearance. Obviously I got into the gym, I started gaining weight, and for me, I want to be a bit bigger. Like I don't want to be super tiny. There's nothing wrong with it, like I just said, but for me it's not what I want. And then, you know, when you get comparisons, and you know, you like, if I look at my own body, I'm like super comfortable. I think like my bum looks great, I think, you know, my shoulders look great, my back looks great, I like the shape of my stomach, you know, I like that, you know, I like my waist, all that sort of stuff. But then when the comparisons come in, I'm like, whoa, I've got no arse. And I know that objectively that's not true. Like for my proportions, I have a big bum, but like put me next to someone else and I won't look like I do. And I don't want to live my life being defined by the bloody size of my arse. It's draining. And I feel like I still get comments now, both on Instagram, in person, whatever, of people saying things like, oh, you're super petite, you're super slim, you're super skinny. And do you know what? Those things might actually be true. They might be true, but it hurts me because of my background when it comes to like my body and my insecurities. It hurts me, and it's not helpful, and it really like sets me back. And you know, like there's just, I just feel like both in person and online, I'm constantly being compared to something that I'm never gonna look like that. I'm never gonna look like that. So like, can we just not? Because I'm just not gonna look like that. I want my goals and like what I'm working towards in the gym to be about what I want. I don't want it to be dictated by what other people want. And I know, regardless of what other people say, I still want to gain weight. I still want to put on a bit more weight, a bit more muscle. I know that's what I want, but I don't need the constant comparisons from people. And also like from myself, I'm super harsh on myself. All my coaching clients are the same. We're all fucking awful to ourselves, which we all need to stop. I'm super harsh to myself. Obviously I work with ALPHALETE, and like I feel like quite a lot of their athletes and affiliates are either like super muscular, which I'm not, like relatively speaking in terms of muscle. I'm still quite petite. Super muscular, like bodybuilder types, or they're like super curvy, like wild ratios, like but on like a bigger scale than me. Like I know my proportions are a bit like ooh, but it's on like a bigger scale than me, and I just feel like I look at it sometimes and I'm like, oh, like that also, like I definitely do compare. And I also get like comments on my videos, which I do delete some, but if you go through you will see some comparing me to other athletes and affiliates. It's just not helpful. Like I don't want to be told like someone else looks better. Equally, I would not want anyone to comment under anyone else's video saying I look better than them. Like you can give someone a compliment without tearing someone else down. That is a thing. It's possible. We don't need to do it. I just feel like, yeah, a bit of a confidence and identity crisis, but like I said, I'm a bit excited because really the last 6 months of this year I want to like try out different styles and all that sort of stuff and kind of find what I'm comfortable in. Like one thing I know I'm comfortable in is a bloody matching tracksuit, and I feel like I might treat myself to a new one, maybe Sisters and Seekers. I want a sporty and rich one, but they're really fucking expensive, you know, all that sort of stuff. I really hope this hasn't, the last half of this video hasn't been depressing or come across as like me complaining. There is a light at the end. Like I said, it's exciting. I'm gonna like try, maybe if you're having an identity crisis sounds so dramatic, but like if you're feeling a bit like not sure on like personal style or whatever, maybe we can all go through this little journey together, find our personal style, not just follow like micro trends, because these trends on Instagram, they are very much micro trends. They're not gonna last forever. What you're wearing now, if you're not following the trends, might actually be the trend in 6 months time. Like trends come and go very quickly. Also, it's better for the planet if we try and not buy into the trends. And I also know that some people might like listen to what I've just said and think, but you are the standard. And in many ways, like, I do appreciate that I am, but I feel like maybe, you know, the circles I roll in, the social media circles I roll in, there's definitely a lot of differences. Maybe I just need to curate my feed a bit better, to be honest. Probably that might actually help. So yeah, let's all curate our Instagram feeds to fit, you know, things that make us feel good about ourselves, not bad. TikTok as well. Let's just be on a positive vibes, find our personal style, find our confidence again, because like I'm a bit sick of myself, to be honest. Like I don't really like this. Like I used to be super like strong-minded, really like opinionated. Still opinionated, let's be honest. And a lot more sure of myself than I am now. I feel like I'm just having a bit of a wobble, but it won't last forever. And like I said, I hope it's not come across as complaining, but hopefully talking about it can make anyone who's feeling that way feel a little bit less alone. Obviously we've got some solutions. It's not the end of the world. We can fix it, but yeah, that's just how I've been feeling. And I've just remembered as well, actually, if you shop with ALPHALETE, I feel like they're announcing this today so I can speak about it. Exciting. They're changing athlete codes from support codes to discount codes. So now if you use code Amy, it supports me, but you will also get 10% off your order as of June 1st, which is really exciting. They have confirmed they're not hiking the prices to make up for this 10%. Like they're not going to make things 10% more expensive. Obviously over time with inflation prices will go up, but they're not just going to shoot up 10% because they're now taking 10% off. So yeah, code Amy now gets you a discount, and I'm really glad they've done this because I feel like I've always been really grateful for people using my support code, because of the fact that like it doesn't benefit you whatsoever. Like you're just doing it out of the kindness of your heart, and I love that. Like I think it's amazing, and I've been so grateful for all the support I've been given. But I've always felt a bit bad that like it's not a discount code. I kind of understand the reasons for it from like a business point of view, and trying to measure someone's actual influence and support. It is harder if it's a discount code, but clearly they've realised that like they need to give back to their customers, and I'm really glad that they've done it. I feel like, yeah, and a lot of people have always complained that they're only support codes, not discount codes, so hopefully, I know it's only 10%, but like it's, you know, it's a nice thing for them to do, and I'm glad that they have done it, because you guys, if you want to support me, you deserve that discount, girl. You bloody deserve it. I think that's everything I was going to speak about today, to be honest, and I feel like now that I've cried a bit, I kind of need to stop because my nose is blocked and I probably sound really fucking annoying. Give the video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. I'm really sorry for crying. I don't really typically cry on camera. I've done it a few times, but like I do make a concerted effort not to do it, because it's a little bit like, I don't think it's embarrassing crying. I'm a crier. If you know me in real life, you girls are crier, but I don't, you know, when there's bigger fish to fry in the world, like trust me, there's bigger problems in the world. It does in hindsight feel a bit stupid crying over stuff like that, but feelings are feelings, and yes, perspective is so important. Like there are way bigger problems going on in the world right now than my confidence / identity crisis. Doesn't mean I can't feel upset. It can help me get over feeling upset a bit quicker, but it doesn't mean that I'm not going to feel a little bit upset. And I feel like confidence in social media is something that a lot of people struggle with, so I'm glad I touched on it. Yeah, let me know what other videos you want to be seeing, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be an ALPHALETE haul for their restock on June the 11th. They're restocking Amplify. I'll leave the PDF link down below. Thanks for watching. I'll also leave my programme in the description box as well, because a lovely girl on Instagram actually typed it up for me, so I'll leave that below. Yeah, goodbye.